The Indianapolis Colts haven't won the AFC South since Andrew Luck was their quarterback. That was 2014 since their last division title. This past offseason, the Colts were not about making big splashy moves in free agency. They were all about re-signing their own players. They re-signed 7 key players. But when we look at the Colts and look forward to what's going to happen in the 2024 campaign, there's really one question that shines above all the others, that stands above all the others. And that's how good is Anthony Richardson? Can Richardson play? We saw him last year, only 4 games. This year, Indy hopes they get a full season from now, their second-year QB, so we can see what the former Florida Gator is capable of doing at the NFL level. Teddy Covers from WagerTalk.com, breaking down all 32 NFL teams right here in July, so you guys have some good previews to sink your teeth into over the summer months. And of course, I've done all my NFL work, or much of my NFL, all of my preseason NFL work already. That's why the win report comes out in July. But let's talk about Indy, a team that went 9-8 last year, 4-12 the year before, 9-win team, or 4-13 the year before, and a 9-win team the year before that. So 2 winning seasons and 1 dismal season in between. And of course, last year they came out with a winning record, despite the fact, again, that their quarterback got hurt. The rookie QB, obviously, and they found some magic last year without Richardson in the lineup. This year, of course, the backup is Joe Flacco, who had some success in some ways last. Flacco's not afraid to air it out. All right, Flacco will throw the ball deep. He'll give the receivers a chance to catch one-on-one balls. There are weeks that works very well for his teams. There are weeks that doesn't work so well. You know, he'll take chances. Flacco's an over quarterback for what it's worth when he's in. Anthony Richardson might be an over quarterback as well. You know, you have second-year head coach and Shane Steichen, an offensive mind, 8th-year GM Chris Ballard, and perhaps some urgency there. And of course, we're talking about 21 starters back from a team that won 9 games last year and didn't have their quarterback for most of the season. So given that scenario, you have to say, wow, there's a lot of potential for Indy. Look, we don't know how good Richardson is. He's coming off shoulder surgery. Obviously, he's a QB, a dual threat QB. You can make big plays with his legs and with his arms. Off the shoulder surgery, off the injury-plagued rookie year, do they contain him? Do they try to make him more of a pocket passer this year? Hard to say. Running back Jonathan Taylor, certainly he's a stud when healthy. At receiver, Michael Pittman can make plays. Josh Downs, their second-round pick. Josh Downs there, I say this number 2 pick, Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. The tight end, Jelani Woods, missed all of last year. He should be a big upgrade at that position. They have weapons. They have a running back. The offensive line returns all 5 starters intact, and they drafted a couple of mid-round guards. There's depth on that offensive line. And these are not earth-shattering units. Jonathan Taylor's not the best back in the league. Michael Pittman's not the best receiver. You know, the offensive starting line was solid. They're not spectacular. We're not talking about a bunch of Pro Bowlers. But there's continuity for Indy, one season to the next. Coach back, system the same, players the same. That's a positive sign. And even if they're not elite level talent, and again, Colts aren't a Super Bowl team this year, okay? So we're talking about what are they going to do? We're not going to say, all right, well, upside is Super Bowl. No. Upside for Indy is playoffs. Upside is competing for the division title. And maybe they'll be able to do that. You know, again, they haven't done it since 2014. And when we look at this offense, I think they're going to be able to score some points. Defensively, look, the secondary was awful last year. Pretty awful. They had 5 home losses. They allowed 32 points a game in those contests. Depth is a defensive concern just about everywhere. From a personnel standpoint, again, it's okay, but it doesn't blow you away. Give me 1 second. I want to promo for a minute, and then we'll talk about Indy's defense. But I do want to let you guys know about the NFL season win report. The reason that these are coming out in early mid-July, what is it? You know, the second week of July right here as I record, is because I've done my NFL work. The season win report up and available. That season win report, 100 wins, 50 losses, 3 pushes. I've been putting it out every year since 2001. It has been wildly successful. The 5% big tickets, 16 wins, 4 losses over a significant sample size, 80% winners. Won again last year. The Packers over 7.5 wins. It was a sweat early. It was a right side late. I'll stand by my handicap of Green Bay over from last year. This year's report, as of now, has 5 teams on it, including a 5% big ticket play and 4 additional selections. We may add more after week 2 or week 3 of the preseason, depending on what the markets do and how some of these teams look. There are still a handful of teams that I may well add that I'm still interested and paying close attention to, even though right now the goal when you put out something early is make sure you're getting the best of the number. I didn't want to put out stuff that maybe we'll get a better number a month from now than we will now. You can get my season win report right now, wt.buzz/TC. You can visit the website, wagertalk.com. And if you use promo code REPORT20 at checkout, you can get $20 off the season win report right now. Again, promo code REPORT20 at checkout. And if you like this early NFL betting content, please, again, I don't ask for much. I really don't. All 32 teams are going to preview for you guys. Free, no issues. Just if you like it, click the like. That's all I ask. If you want to comment below, we love the comments. We appreciate it. I'll get back throughout the summer and answer as many of them as I can. But tell us what you think below. And of course, if you like more team previews, be sure to stay tuned. I've done all 32 NFL teams right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. So the Colts defense last year, they play a 4-3. They were really stout versus the run. And of course, they re-signed DeForest Buckner. They got UCLA edge Laitu Latu with the number 15 overall pick, their first rounder. Defensive line looks decent. But I have a lot of concerns about the Colts' depth on defense. I got a lot of concerns about their secondary. It feels to me like Indy's going to have to be winning shootouts this year because that is not a shutdown defense. And if injuries strike at any point during the campaign on the defense side of the football for the Indianapolis Colts, it's likely to be a problem. So on a week-by-week basis, I think Indy has real over potential, especially with a guy like, doesn't matter if it's Richardson or QB or if Flacco gets his chance. Both guys are over QBs. When you're playing overs game by game, you like a quarterback that takes shots and makes mistakes. And that's what we have with both Richardson and Flacco. Given Indy's weak defensive or mediocre defense, I really think the Colts have the potential to cash over bets week in, week out, early in the season. We talk about the Colts' schedule for 2024. And again, AFC South teams faced a really easy slate last year in general. That's not necessarily the case this year. And the league's kind of burying Indy a little bit. Their first 10 games are all at 1 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday. They're not getting the Sunday nights and the Monday nights and the Thursday nights and the Christmas Day games and the Thanksgiving Day games. They get one Sunday night football and that's it. They have a week 14 bye, and that's in my mind a real negative. A handful of teams have that late bye, and that's too late for a team, especially for a team that has depth concerns. An earlier week off, I think could have made a big difference for Indy this year. AFC South teams face NFC North and AFC East opponents. AFC East has 3 teams line 9.5 or higher. NFC North comparable in that regard, with both Chicago and Minnesota taking over money, and the Lions and the Packers are supposed to be really good. There are 3 extra games. Well, here's where Indy gets a little bit of a break. Pittsburgh at home, at Denver, at the Giants. Denver and the Giants, well, we'll talk about them later. Hey, none of those teams, I have some respect for Pittsburgh. The other two look like they're going to have a rough season. So given those 3 extra games, given that we like the core group for Indy, my gut is Colts over. All right, they're lined up exactly as a 500 team, lined 8.5 wins. And if I had to play, I might play over 8.5. But it's a lean. It's not a bet. I worry about their depth. And they look exactly to me like where they're lined. They're a mediocre team. This is not an elite squad. And it's hard to make money betting over 8.5s with mediocre teams. So the lean is Colts over, but I have not gotten to the betting window in that regard. We might. And if the money comes the other way, if I find an 8 on Indy, maybe we get there. But as of this moment, it's a lean and not an official bet on the Colts over 8.5. Again, use that promo code REPORT20 and get $20 off my NFL season win report. That's 100 wins, 50 losses, 3 pushes over the last 23 years. And if you like this early NFL betting content, that click the like button makes all the difference. We appreciate it very much. Be sure to check out the full playlist from wagertalk.com on your screen right here. In fact, why don't you click on the next video right now? Thanks for watching, and best of luck.